to shift that old habit that really no longer serves our highest good, eh? Does that help, dearest?
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. As we channel together, Adirondha and myself, we are allied. The other side of the veil speaks clearly to humanity in love, in service, and in accuracy for the times. Adirondha is correct, totally correct, and asks you to think about something that I also want you to think about before I give you still another concept. And that's this. You're born perfect, magnificent. And some will say, yes, but I also have no intellect. That is correct. Not yet. That comes later. But everything that is a habit today, everything that you don't want today, every problem you have today was added unto that perfectness in this planet. So you might say you had a white, clean slate when you were born, and everything else then was placed upon it. It didn't stain it, dear ones, because you can pick that white piece of paper, shake it, and get rid of it. It's not you. It isn't you. It simply was added on to you. Some will say it's programming. And some will say, well, it's cultural, and I've been doing it for so many years that it becomes me. Others will say it's a nice time of year to think about these things, and I'll try again, but it never sticks. The habits that I have, I don't like, and no matter what I do, it simply doesn't work. There are so many today who will hear this and say, I want to hear something perhaps that's different than get rid of the habits, or I can do this, or change my bracelet, or any of these things that are real helps in a three-dimensional world in order to get rid of the things you don't want. They work for some, they don't for others. But dear ones, if you are listening, if you are aware of the changes on this planet of the energy that I have told you about, that Adirondha has told you about, that are starting to occur inside you, you're going to realize there is something different this year. You may not have had it last year or even the year before. I'm going to tell you what it is. The energy coming through your pineal, attached to the other side of the veil, is starting to increase. And what it does is to start to affect, listen to me, what it does is start to affect what already is there, the white piece of paper. You are born with the ability to change all of these habits, to eliminate them, to change the programming, to change the past. All of those things come with the study of mastery. This year, and the time to follow for all of those who are listening to this is different from any other time, because what you're going to try to accomplish right now has a much better chance of being permanent. Because of the energy that is flowing in now, because of that which you're starting to realize and recognize is your magnificence. All that you have added onto this is simply things that have been put in little bags and placed into your mind or into your brain or into your personality. Those little bags don't belong there. And up to now, in an older energy, they were too heavy. You couldn't move the bags, even though you tried. And now I'm going to tell you something. With light, the bags are becoming much lighter. Some of them are disappearing by themselves. But with a little intent, with a little effort from your standpoint, this year could be different. You are born with all of this already engaged inside. It's just that in an older energy, you didn't know how to touch it, how to work with it, how to use it, how to break those habits, how to think differently, how to become positive in a negative environment. All of those belong to a master. That's what you're studying. Let it be known that it's different now. It's different now. No matter how many things you've tried, no matter what you have said in the past, and watch your voice, just like Adironda says. It's a joke, I know. My partner says that he is being diagnosed with being older. That is an Adironda joke. But it's true. What you say sticks, and it becomes you. Even if you say, I can't do that any more than I could any of the other years, your body hears it and agrees. Okay, no, we're not even going to try. But instead, you could say, I can do that now. Things are different, much different. Whereas before I did it in an older energy, now I'm going to do it in my energy, an energy that I start recognizing as different, as magnificent, as beautiful. That's why it'll work this time. Then you find yourself not irritated with others who don't believe what you believe. And instead, you're just observing them. And your reaction to what they would say is much different than it was before. Nobody is able to push your buttons anymore. That's mastery. And that's how it's done.
Beautiful. Thank you both. And one more question. How can we create abundance?
How can we create abundance? Well, dearest beings of light, by the question itself, how can we create abundance? You're automatically assuming that abundance is not already there when it is. So it is not about creating it. It is truly about accepting it. It is truly about knowing beyond a shadow of doubt that all of your needs, all of your wants, all of your desires are being taken care of. Now, if you have the desire to spend and spend and spend and spend and spend, and your bank account doesn't support that, well, that's when that habit comes in, that you get the opportunity to say, how am I being fulfilled by that spending habit? Huh? And then you get to the crux of that, and then your awareness will help you transform that habit. But to create abundance people think of as money. Well, it is not just money. Abundance of things, abundance of energy, abundance of communication, abundance of acknowledgement. And the vessel Marilyn has been cleaning out closets lately. She has an abundance of old pictures that she's very abundant in the picture realm. So how do you accept that abundance is something that is yours by your birthright? There's the rub, eh? Because that energy of abundance, that energy of accepting that you indeed have whatever it is you desire, if it is in your field, it is yours to have. You just simply may get the opportunity to rearrange a few things or acknowledge a few things or experience that energy in order to accommodate that. You know, when you have an abundance of pain in your body, your mind focuses on that pain. That is one of the things that the vessel Marilyn and us are teaching in Florida in April, is how to overcome that feeling of abundance of pain in the body. So instead, accept that the body, just like your willingness for abundance, in essence, is perfect. The pain is teaching you something, just like the lack of abundance is teaching you something. So first, stop and think, what am I learning? What am I experiencing? What is the lesson that I must have to be able to receive and accept all of the abundance that is mine? how can I rearrange the brain that is embroiled in the habit of lack mentality when my checking account seems to feed that lack? Huh? So understand that everything comes with a spark of thought. Everything comes with that spark of feeling. So if you look into your checking account and you think, once again, it's not as full as I would like it to be, listen to that thought. Instead, when you look into your checking account and think, whoopee, I've got $7.98. Yay. I'm going to hang on to that and then see how it multiplies. Or I'm going to put it in circulation and see how that circulation multiplies. So understand that how you feel about your own abundance is a part of controlling your environment. So how you feel about it. Now, we have watched our vessel Marilyn go through many different avenues with that. So then she started blessing her money. When she would write a check, she would bless this money. She even had it written on her checks when she used to write checks a lot. And she would say, bless this money and may good comes to anyone who touches it. And that was a new energy for her to think, I'm paying for this food at the grocery store and I'm giving you half of my paycheck. And that's when she was receiving a paycheck. And how do I bless that? And just by looking at the teller, the little person behind the counter that says, I just bless this money. And in your mind, just bless it and know that whoever is going to receive it will be blessed by it as well. See, that is about reframing your thinking to know that abundance is yours. When you want something or you feel like something is yours without being colored or filtered by your own ego, but in the trueness, lean into it. Just accept that the universe is going to rearrange itself to accommodate your picture of reality. And that is what is happening. So with that, the abundance is yours already. You don't have to create something. You just have to become a good steward of it. Take care of your abundance. That is one of the reasons we do the Butterfly Project, is to clear out old energy to make room for the new. Because the new is there, waiting for you. Abundance is there. All you get the opportunity to do is sit back, breathe into it and embrace it, because that is a wondrous thing. And to know that if you are destined for something, that money or support or family interaction or whatever, that is God is going to support you. So with that energy, trust that everything you desire, everything you want with need, or however you explain that energy, is already in your field. It's already there. So instead of thinking about, I wish, think about, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude shifts the feeling that happens within you when you think about abundance of all things. So instead of thinking of creating abundance, we would ask you to think of just accepting it and then lean into the avenue or the passageway, the pathway to that feeling of pure joy when you are experiencing, whether it is money abundance, financial abundance, or abundance of friends without the negative friends, or abundance of joy, or abundance of roller coasters at Disneyland. That energy is the key. So trust that focus, trust that energy, and know that you are already abundant. It is just a matter of being aware of that abundance and What is feeding that abundance? Are you feeding your negative thoughts? You can also have an abundance of negative thoughts, and we don't think that that is what you want. Instead, see you as the most creative life force on this planet. You create every minute of every day. You are a walking creator. So you don't have to create abundance because it's already there. Just like you don't have to create something, you may have to create a casserole, but the ingredients may already be there. But you see what we say? It is a matter of acknowledging you as an abundant being of light, and to know that beyond a shadow of doubt. And even if you feel like your abundance is lacking in the financial realm, it will be abundant in some other realm. And all you have to do is bless the financial realm and breathe into it and know that you are taken care of. However, you choose to live your life. And if you think negatively about it, then the things that you are thinking negative about is what is becoming more abundant in your world. Ah, dearest beings, we love you so much. And we ask that you understand this. Abundance is yours. It is your birthright, just like joy is your birthright, right? Just like laughter, happiness is your birthright. Be who you are and allow those things that are no longer serving your highest joy to drift away and integrate so deeply that they are not controlling your environment. We love you so much. We bid you namaste.
Adirondha is right, you know. The expression lean into it. Let me explain. This is you accepting the premise that it is already here. I would like to give you a story that so many of you know from your older scriptures, the scriptures of your culture. You have a society that has escaped from one place only to wander in the desert for 40 years. Do you recognize the story from your scripture? So let's analyze that for just a moment. A society, perhaps several thousand or maybe even more, are wandering literally in circles, large ones, in the desert for many years. Now, they didn't have time to stop and grow crops. They didn't have a lot of wildlife in the desert. So how did they exist? The scripture says they were fed from the heavens every day. And it was in the morning. Now, scientists look at this and say, well, maybe it was this and maybe it was that. Others look at it and say, perhaps it was a metaphor. It doesn't matter, dear ones. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The reality is the story and what it means to you. They were taken care of and had abundance every day. They didn't go hungry. Imagine how many there were and what would have had to happen. And if you turn to them, they would say, yes, well, we have it. But the thing that is so interesting is that almost all of them together worried if it would happen the next day. Years went by. 20 years went by. 25 years by. 30 years. And there were those who were born in that society during that time, raised walking in the desert, and they also asked that same question. Is it going to happen tomorrow, Mom? What happens if it doesn't take place? and over and over and over. They were given abundance every day. It was always there to receive, and yet they worried if it would come. In the worrying whether it would come, it actually shortened their lifetimes, because worry creates chemical change in a body. Are you starting to get this? This is a new era. Lean in and understand that abundance is coming to you as you need it. The abundance is that which suits the needs of responsible financial aspects, where you don't have to sell your home, where you don't have to be penniless, or where you worry about food, or if you lose a job. All of these things in your culture, dear ones, you lean into these things and realize the abundance is there. Here is an affirmation. There is enough for everyone. I will also have my share. It is my joy. It's coming. And in that you are leaning into the reality that it belongs with you, that you are taken care of, just like those who wandered in the desert. Dear ones, this is not only your right, it's your legacy. This is what light workers learn over and over, is that you are taken care of, even though perhaps you cannot see around the corner. It is there in so many ways. There are so many testimonies from so many of those studying mastery who have started to lean in and relax with money, and saying it comes in ways that I don't expect, and that it pays those bills. And I have been able to exist because of this without worrying. And then a funny thing happened. As soon as I accepted this and stopped my worrying, more came. And then even more came. And now I am more comfortable than ever before, because I leaned in to that which was joyful and real for me. This truly is the study of mastery, and it belongs to everyone watching. And so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kryon. Thank you, Adironda. Really beautiful messages coming through. And that concludes our evening. And I want to thank everyone for joining us on this first 5th Wednesday special for the brand new year. You can expect another one coming up in April. It'll be on April 30 for more great energy and great answers. But until then, remember how magnificent you are. The abundance you desire is already there. It's just about accepting and allowing it. And that's it from us. Love and blessings to all of you.